welcome back to my channel. My name is SarahRaeBookings, and today we're gonna be talking about how to host a party at home. It's gonna be really simple and easy. Pretty much everything's from Target. Thanks so much to Target for sponsoring this video. Thank you. If you guys happen to watch my vlog channel, you know that I love to entertain people. I love hosting ever since buying my first home, which is what we're in right now. I find it so gratifying to bring people into my home, my friends, my family, and to be a good hostess. And I realized that I didn't really know how to do that because I wasn't really raised like that. I have a lot of siblings, and my siblings all have a lot of kids. And so we have a large family, but we always just kind of hung out at my mom's house. My mom hosts a lot of things at her house still, but she's a nurse, so there are holidays where she has to go to work, and I am next in line for hosting. Now, today's video is not about hosting for a holiday, although I would love to do that for you guys if you're interested, but it is about hosting for a small party or gathering. For us, we are doing a book club. Let's get into what I do before I invite people over to my house for a home gathering. One thing I've learned for sure is that you need to have kind of a checklist of what you need to get done, what you need to pick up at the store. Like I said, this video is sponsored by Target. Absolutely everything that you see is from Target. I mean, this was really easy to do because 90% of my house is already from Target. Look, do you see that tree back there? Look at that tree. Tell me that's not a beautiful tree. I got that at Target, okay? I got it all at Target. One thing you're gonna really wanna have though is some kind of list. I usually sit down beforehand and I get a feel for how many people are gonna be showing up and whether or not they're gonna have their kids, how many kids they're gonna have, and I just get kind of a general rough estimate. So I'll put checklists on my phone, or you can do it paper and pencil, whatever is better for you. I would just suggest having a little checklist so that you can tick things off as you go along and as you pick up anything that you might need from the store, or as you just do things around the house. What I have found really works when it comes to entertaining is making charcuterie boards. I'm sure you guys have seen them everywhere. You've probably made them yourself. You've seen them on every social platform. They are perfect when you are entertaining. And I was a little intimidated by them at first. I've probably made like 20 at this point. And while each one's a little bit different, they all kind of have the same formula. For our book club charcuterie board today, I went ahead and picked up a couple of meats. So we have salami, we have pepperoni, I did a summer sausage. That one is always a hit. There's literally never a single piece of summer sausage left anytime I use it. I will slice them up kind of depending on how it fits on the board. Now, I use different boards. This one that I have is so beautiful. When I tell you guys that people cannot stop talking about this board, it is so thick and it is so heavy and just feels so smooth. It is such a nice board, okay? Look, I realize it's a piece of wood, but it is a gorgeous piece of wood. So along with the meats, I also picked up a couple of soft cheeses, a couple of hard cheeses. Normally I like to keep something that everybody's really familiar with, like cheddar cheese or Gouda. I mean, that's a staple in my house. But then I also like to usually mix in other stuff like brie, maybe a really creamy brie, and maybe a goat cheese, a flavored one, or one that's just kind of plain. It's up to you. I try to stay away from any cheeses that are a little too stinky because, you know, I don't want to scare people off. I also like to have something that's really salty, like olives or pickles, especially stuffed olives. Those always work great. I found these adorable little snack cups from Target and they are so cute. Normally I do just clear glass, or I'll do like a matte black container when I'm kind of trying to separate, you know, the things with like juices and stuff from everything else. But when I saw these cute little bowls, I had to have them. So they came in a set of 2. I filled one with the stuffed olives, and then in the other one, I put some nuts. Nuts are always good to have, you know, assuming no one's allergic or anything, but just in case, I do actually keep them in their own separate little container a lot of the time. And these particular pistachios were flavored like salt and pepper, so they were, you know, they had a little extra kick to them. I also love to incorporate dried fruit like pineapples and mangoes, and I love doing dipped nuts, something a little bit different. So we had lemon almonds. I usually just pick up like the variety pack of crackers and I fit what I can on the board. It's okay to like restock your board a little bit. I like to get a little bit adventurous with my cutting, you know. I'll go online, maybe get some inspiration. Maybe my board will inspire you guys a little bit. This time I decided to slice the brie and I slice the cheddar cheese so that everything is really easy to grab. Make sure that everything on your board is really easy to grab. Make sure it's not something where someone needs two hands and they need to cut things. And I like to make it as easy as possible. One, because then people are more likely to eat it, and two, just because it's a little bit more sanitary that way. Now, I love to make little roses on my board. I think they're the cutest thing ever. I know there are so many different ways to fold your meats and to make your flowers and all of that, but the champagne flute method is what works best for me. Now, it does work best if you have the larger slice pepperoni or salami, but you just go ahead and start stacking them around the rim of the glass, and the more you add, the tighter the hole in the middle gets. And once you feel like you really can't fit anymore, you can just go ahead and flip the glass over onto your board and you will have a perfect little rose. And the beauty is that each slice is easily picked up. You can pick up one slice without picking up the whole rose, and the slices come off from the top as opposed to having to like dismantle something from the bottom. So it makes your board look really cool. It's really simple, and it's very, very easy to actually pick and eat from. Now, speaking of picks, I also picked up this set of gold colored cheese plate accessories. So it's basically what you need, like a spatula, a fork. You just need a couple of things on the plate. I have all of the black ones that Target has to offer. Like, I've already purchased them. They've been used a million times and I'm obsessed with them. But I thought gold would look a little bit better on this wooden board. So what do you think? Do you love it? I loved it. Now, sometimes I do a sweet board and I do a savory board. It really depends on how many people are coming by. Sometimes I combine sweet and savory onto one board, and then sometimes I just put other sweets out into separate little serving dishes. So I have a bunch of serving dishes from Target. For this gathering, I've filled one with chocolate covered graham crackers, one has a trail mix in it, one has a chocolate covered nut in it. Most of what you're seeing me use is from the Threshold Design with Studio McGee line at Target. And you guys, everything is so beautiful. But beyond being beautiful, it's really affordable. So I don't have a problem kind of collecting it all and using it for different occasions. So the little bowls that I used for the snacks that I laid out, those also match this really pretty serving tray. It's like a cake stand serving tray situation. I had the idea of putting a candle in the center of it because for us, whether it be a book club meeting or it's just we're hanging out for the sake of hanging out, our gatherings tend to last a long time. So I like having a little crackly candle lit. It makes the room smell nice. I always have it in my living room. It's within sight. So I just set these little cakes out around the candle because I thought it was so cute. And we set that out in the living room. So I do keep food in the kitchen, and then I like to keep food in the living room. So if you have people over in multiple spaces, I do like to keep food in various areas of the house. Now, between the charcuterie board and the snacks that I put out and the little desserts and stuff that I put out, we're usually good. People do a good job at kind of just picking and eating a little bit as they're hungry. If the night does wear on for a while, then I usually just order food. Although I would love to get into the habit of cooking more meals that are good for a party. So if you guys have any favorite like gathering recipes or party recipes, I would absolutely love to know them. Feel free to leave them down below for me in the comment section because that is definitely something I still need to work on. Now, as far as drinks go, I like to pick up an extra pack of sparkling water or juice boxes or whatever, just kind of my regular grocery shopping. And I do have a spare fridge that I keep just for beverages. Kind of just stock it with a variety of different little drinks that I could offer people. I wouldn't have, 50 sparkling waters or anything like that, but I always had at least a few of something on hand to kind of satiate whatever, someone's particular tastes were. And like I said, I kind of just do it with my weekly or monthly grocery shopping so that when I do have people over, I'm not spending $200 to fully stock a fridge. Now, I do like to have a special little drink on hand. I think that really encourages people to drink what it is that you are offering, as opposed to trying to come up with something to drink on their own. So today I'm gonna show you guys my little Bahama Mama style recipe here. So I have this really pretty little pitcher. We had a smaller gathering this time, so I did a small pitcher. I filled it with ice first. I poured in equal parts orange juice and pineapple juice, and then I topped it with, normally you would do like a coconut rum, but I saw a pineapple rum and I thought that would be very tasty. So I did equal parts of the pineapple rum and the dark rum. That's really up to you, what suits your fancy and what kind of party you're having, honey. So I then added just some grenadine into it. It gave it a really cool look. I threw a bunch of maraschino cherries in there, and of course we garnished it with some fresh lemon slices. Now I also wanted to put some little garnishments on the side. So I have this little appetizer plate from Target, and I sliced up a fresh lemon and I sliced up an orange. I made sure to put a little slit in the side so that they could actually stick it on the side of their drink if they wanted. If not, they could just toss it into these cute little glasses that I have. Oftentimes when I'm entertaining, I like to have smaller sized glasses just so that you're not wasting, or if someone takes something and they decide maybe it wasn't for them, they don't feel bad that, you know, they've poured themselves 12 ounces of a drink because their glass is gigantic. Obviously what's in the pitcher is gonna only be for the adults, but I saw this really pretty beverage tub. It's this pretty like brassy gold color. I love it. It matches all of my bar accessories. So I set that out with some ice. I put the extra juice in there along with the liquor, and that way it's easy for your guests to kind of make their own drink if they want to, if maybe they don't like, you know, what you set out, but also that way the juice is out and you can whip something up for the kids. Let me tell you, in my experience with all of the kids that I have at this house all the time, all you have to do is add grenadine. That is literally all you have to do. Give them some kind of juice, give them a clear pop, and just add grenadine, a couple of cherries, maybe a slice of a lemon or an orange, and these kids are having the time of their lives. So it's easy to incorporate the kids and still make it feel like they're having a special drink too, obviously without the alcohol. Now, a recent pickup that I really wish I would have had sooner is this ice bucket with tongs. I love to make cubed ice, like not the kind that comes out of the fridge, not the kind you get at the store, but the ones that are actually like exact cubes. I love to get those because they are so nice looking in our little glasses, and people always talk about them when you have like circular ice maybe for whiskey, or you have the cubed ice. It's little stuff like that that really make people feel like you were thinking about them. I got this ice bucket. It comes with these tongs. It matches the beverage tub perfectly, and I just think our whole setup was perfect. So I was raised in a household where we always kind of served ourselves. It is what I am most comfortable with. I always set up a little station so that you don't have to go looking around, oh, where are the napkins? Oh, where are the plates? Oh, where are the forks? They're all gonna be together. So I have this really cute little wire basket, and I actually kind of keep this stocked all the time normally. So I will put larger plates, I will put some smaller plates. I always have some pretty paper napkins just because again, it's just the little things like that that make people feel like you were thinking of them, like you really care about this party, you really care about hosting, you're really enjoying yourself, and then it makes them feel like they can enjoy themselves a little more too. So I also add in forks, knives, spoons, whatever is necessary for whatever food that you're having, and I just set it out near the food, and people always take a plate, they take a big plate, they take a little plate, they take whatever they need, and it's super easy so that you can still enjoy your gathering and enjoy whatever it is that you guys are doing without having to sit there and shell out slices of lasagna or whatever it may be. Let's go back before we actually make our food and our drinks, and let's get our house ready. Now, while it may seem like you should deep clean your house, if you're anything like me, I actually prefer to deep clean after I have a party, not necessarily before. So I do wipe down all my surfaces. I make sure that there aren't little fingerprints all over the fridge and the microwave and all of that. I vacuum the house. I remove any pet hair from absolutely anywhere that I can. I do have 2 cats and their hair will get onto the furniture. Even if you can't see it, I know that it's there. So I always make sure to lint roll to remove the pet hair from everywhere that I can, and I vacuum really well because we do have some people with allergies and I like to be as welcoming as possible. My cats always hide when people come over, but if you have pets, definitely take into account who you're inviting over and whether or not they can handle being around that pet, and if they can't, just do your best to try to pick up the hair just to make it as comfortable as possible for your guests. Because on more occasion than one, someone has all of a sudden started sneezing a lot and I'm like, are you okay? And then all of a sudden they look at me and say, do you have a cat? And I'm like, okay, yes I do. So now I keep some antihistamines on hand too, but the cleaning beforehand, definitely clean up, make sure that you know you have everything kind of put away. But I wouldn't go too nuts with the deep cleaning because having a bunch of people in your house means that you're probably gonna have a couple of messes here and there. There's gonna be some crumbs. Every now and again there's a spill. It's not a big deal, but I prefer to deep clean after a party and save that energy for my hosting duties. One thing I do always make sure is very clean though is my bathroom. We have like a guest bathroom. It's a half bath. It has a large closet in it, and I assume people are not gonna be going into the closet in case they need something because they don't live in this house, and so they probably are not gonna be comfortable doing that. So there are a few things that I always do before I have people over that I think really make a difference, and they're so simple, you guys. So one, if the toilet paper roll is almost empty or halfway empty, I just replace it. I take that toilet paper roll off, I stick it in the closet, we use it another day, and I always put a fresh one on just so that no one ends up running out of toilet paper in the middle of a party and they have to go looking for it. If you have space on your counter or in your bathroom to set some other ones out, like, you know, so that they can refresh it themselves if needed, by all means do that. I just don't really have space in my guest bathroom to do that. Another thing I do is I make sure I set out like a room spray. You know, scents are a big deal to me, even though I kind of have lost my sense of smell. I haven't had it in a long time now. I miss it. I like for my bathroom to smell good. I feel like no bathroom can smell too good. That's not a thing. So I always replace our plug-in. On the back of the toilet, I like to put a little tray with a room spray if needed. And then I also love using reed diffusers. I know some people like to set out candles and they'll light candles in their bathroom, and I just don't trust myself with that. Plus I burned a wall one time with my candle, and so I am a center of the room candle kind of gal now. So instead, I like using reed diffusers. If it spills, it spills. It's not a huge deal. But this little tray that I got from Target is perfect because it's like non-skid and it stays perfectly on the top of the tank of my toilet. And we'll say that 3 times fast. And it's just a perfect little addition. I also like to replace our hand soap. Again, if it's like halfway used or 3/4 of the way used, then I'll just put it in the closet. We'll take it out and use it another day. And I always put out a fresh hand soap. And I do the same thing with our lotion. So some people like to put on lotion after they wash their hands. I like to put both out nice and fresh. And again, we're not getting rid of the ones that we're already using. I just bring them out later on. It's just kind of nice for the guests to have like fresh, brand new items to use. And speaking of which, our hand towels, that's the last thing I replace in my bathroom. I usually pull them down every 2 weeks and I wash my hand towels, I switch them out. I got these new hand towels from the Casa Luna brand at Target. They are great because they're super absorbent, but they don't stay really wet. Now, I used to fold them fancy, and I realized if you fold your hand towels fancy, people don't use them because they think, I'm not supposed to use that hand towel. And then I saw people coming out of the bathroom with wet hands or with handprints on their pants, and I'm like, no, 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 no. So now I keep it really simple. When I put my hand towels up, I just fold them, just regular. I put 3 down. Everyone always uses the first one in the line, just so you know. I don't know why people do that, but everyone uses that one. So I usually pop into the bathroom after a few hours and I actually rotate the towels just so that you're not getting the wettest towel every time that you go to the bathroom. So it's just little stuff like that that I feel like it does make a difference, and I think my guests appreciate it. Now we're gonna set up the actual entertaining space. So for us, we tend to go between the kitchen and the living room because this was a book club meeting. we predominantly stay in the living room. Usually everyone makes a plate of food and then we go sit in the living room and we talk about the book. I do like to set the living room up for success. And that means just keeping it very clean and simple. Like I said, I like to lay out some food for people in the living room so they don't have to keep getting up if they want a little snackage. So I found this really pretty runner. I laid that out. I put our pretty tray full of the small cakes and our candle right in the center of it. And then I put a couple of little snack trays next to it. And let me just say, if any of you have ever considered joining a book club, I highly recommend it. Even if you don't like reading per se, you can still listen to the book, and it's just, I don't know, it's fun. It's fun to talk about. Like, this has really been such a great addition to my life lately. I just feel like I gotta tell people about it, but I digress. So I do like to set up the area to be nice and cozy. One thing for sure is a candle, which I love, and then I like to do fresh flowers. So I picked up this bouquet the day of when I was getting my charcuterie accoutrement. Is that how you say it? I'm trying to be fancy, but I don't know. And I am no genius when it comes to flowers. You know, I still definitely have a lot to learn in that particular area, but one thing I know is that I like to cut them at a slant because the internet told me to do that. I also clip off most of the actual leaves so that they don't sully up the water. And then I got this really cute vase at Target. I love these ones that are just straight up and down and kind of short because I feel like it makes the bouquet look bigger and fuller and better. But I arranged this bouquet of flowers. These flowers only cost me a few bucks. The vase was only like $7. Again, it's all from Target, so it's always gonna be pretty affordable. And I set this out on a table in the living room so that we could have a nice little vibe going on. I put out some new pillows. I love switching up the pillows for different holidays, but when it's just like the summertime and we're just hanging out, I like to have pillows that just kind of coordinate. I also picked up this really pretty new blanket, you guys. Someone inevitably always gets cold, and while we do have a ton of blankets, they're actually kind of hidden away in my living room. I don't like to give people the blankets that we use every day, the blankets that the cats are laying on, the blankets that we're eating our popcorn with. I like to put something out that, you know, they're gonna feel comfortable using. I picked up this new one. I threw it on the arm so that when someone inevitably did get cold, they could just grab the blanket and feel comfortable doing so and using it and cozying up in my house. I like for people to feel like, you know, mi casa es su casa, except you gotta go home at the end of the day. Although that being said, I do have a guest room. I wouldn't mind showing you guys how I set the whole thing up. It's a vibe up there, I'm not gonna lie. But after having the living room set up, after having our drink made, after having our charcuterie board made, after cleaning up the house, after setting up the bathroom, we are ready to entertain you guys. So I hope that this video has given you guys some ideas and some tips on how to host a party at home. It is truly such a joy for me. It's definitely something I thoroughly enjoy. And I know that my friends and my family really enjoy coming to my house now for different gatherings. And we will gather for anything, guys. You don't need to have a special occasion. Just have people over, do things together, have a good time. I will have everything linked for you guys down in the description box that I have in this video. I'm telling you, like, you don't need to spend a ton of money to entertain. You can get some really cute stuff at Target. This whole outfit was from Target. Look at these earrings. Stop it. Like, I'm literally obsessed. I love it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.